Okay, welcome to BirdTracker software. Today we are looking through a small tutorial just on how to put in flock records. Before we start, if you are a breeder of a certain bird, it'd probably be a good idea for you to go over to Options. Here you can put your logo, your business name, but going over to Default Settings, and you can select your default settings. So this time I'm going to put in cockatiel. Apply it. Also, this is where you would put user-defined fields. So if you have a field that you want to add later, and we'll go through that in a later time, you can actually add in custom fields here. So if you go into flock records, you'll automatically have cockatiel up here. Go to the bottom, and this is where you add one. You always want to push add first, and you'll come up with a blank screen. I put a unique ID. I tend to put band numbers. Of course, I ban my birds. If not, you can keep a system of how you keep up with all your flock. You can put the name here. So his name's Foxtrot. And his band number. He's not in a cage right now, that he's in the main flight. So you can write main flight. His hatch date. His sex. Show quality. Sure. He's got show quality. Estimated value. Breeding status. He's been an excellent breeder. In the genetics, we know he's a pied. So here you're given recessive mutations, cockatiel sex-linked mutations, dominant mutations, and multiple alleles, which are your blues, pastel face, which works with white face. He's a pied, so I go in here and I know he's a visual pied. You don't want to click both of them, just one, because they'll just, you can either click one or the other. This is a split to pied, which means he's not visual. So you can see up here where he's starting to get in his symbols and what he is. I also know he's split to pearl, and I know he's split to Lutino. Haven't gotten any cinnamons out of him, so he may be, but I'm not quite sure about that yet. And I push OK. Down here you'll see his genetic makeup, but I also want to give him a visual. He's pied. That's his phenotype, which is what he is visually. His genotype is what he is visually plus what he is carrying in the background, which is pearl and Lutino. He was not parent raised. I can go ahead and save that. When you save it, all of these come open. I can add his father's pedigree, NCS 45R, and he's 1401. That's also his father's pedigree, and his father was a pied. His mother, she was 0600. That is her band number 2. She was a white face, cinnamon pearl. I'm just going to go ahead and push apply. You can fill in the father's and the father's mother. And now that I've thought about it, he's split cinnamon and he's split white face. Okay. Save that. And I can view his genealogy listing. So I want to view his name, the band number, and maybe I just want his visual appearance. Now I didn't tell it actually to print that. I'm going to print his family tree with a genotype and see how that works. Now the first thing it will do, even though it has a printer, it's going to put it towards the screen, and it's actually going through all of the records and combining all the pedigrees together and giving him a pedigree. We actually may see that somewhere else, so let's see if we actually are going to see this come up. No, let me get you back there. There it is. So you will see where he has had, that's his flock number, he's a male, and that's his genotype, his phenotype, which is just what he is. His father was a pied, his mother was a white-faced cinnamon pearl. Back at that report where I said you could put in your name, you can put that breeder information in. If you sell him, you can put his sales information down here. If you received him from someone, you will put his receiving information of where you received it. If he's had any birth problems, any nesting problems, any weights that you want to keep track of, any illnesses. And this really helps when you try to think of when you're going back and saying, well, is this a bird I want to use? And you come back and you see something like does not sit well. Then you might want to consider that bird to be paired up with a hen that might sit really well. Or if that was a hen, you definitely would want a cock that, sits wonderfully. If this is anything that you've done any blood work on, you can definitely put some examination results in here. If you have your polyoma or any other kind of vaccine, you can put those results in there. You put his diet in there. Other information, and these are your user-defined fields that you can put anything that you want to, that you might think might be, good for you, as far as breeding or keeping up with your flock. Now, if you then go and you're a show person, you can select him. And you can start collecting his points. You can put the ratings, especially for some of the canary type birds. They will give ratings, and you can put the ratings down of each of the birds and what the judge gave them for their ratings. Now I'm going to go ahead and put one more bird in. So again, you push add. Cockatiel by default, because we've added that by default. I'm going to give them a mate. Give them a name. This is going to be a hen. And her hatch date. Being a hen, she can't be split to a sex-linked mutation. So BirdTracker automatically knows that, and you can just make her a pearl. That's all she is. Her visual appearance is she is a pearl. I'll save her. Okay, in the next video we'll be doing how to set up these two birds in your breeding record. And we'll put both of them in here and we'll breed them. Any questions, you can try my Facebook page, search for BirdTracker software, or put your comments down below.